What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of the CubCast, as we continue to explore stories and news around music worldwide. Very exciting conversation we're going to be getting into today. As always, though, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button down below, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. We've really been increasing the amount of content we've been putting out on the channel, and today we are diving into the world of dancehall, because I know there are a lot of dancehall fans that follow this channel. It's an area that I'm really trying to actually push more into in regards to the music we're reviewing and kind of DJing with and things like that. It's the sound that I grew up listening to, and I'm really keen to push that here on the channel. But today we are talking about Spotify, and obviously Spotify Jamaica is a very rapidly growing platform, and we are here today to talk about some very interesting stats that have emerged over the last couple of days. First of all, is that we are now seeing that ALKALINE is now the most played artist in Jamaica on Spotify. He's overtaken Vybz Kartel, who has long since held the, he's been holding the title for a long period of time as kind of like the most decorated and obviously one of the most heavily released artists as well. When you look at Vybz' catalogue, it is absolutely through the roof. It's just endless when you actually look through it, including the features, including the remixes. There are so many Vybz Kartel releases over the years. But it's a very interesting thing we're going to be looking at. Obviously, these are very interesting stats we're seeing, and these have been published over the last few days. And we're looking into a bit more in depth about what these stats mean, because dancehall, quite obviously, in my opinion, it's going to be quite obvious. Obviously, I don't live in Jamaica, so I don't know, but I get the impression that it's quite obvious that it's going to be the dominant genre on the island. It's one of the dominant genres on a global scale as well, with over 370,000 playlists that have been built by users over the last 12 months. And the most prominent genre we are seeing within those playlists is dancehall. But there are some newer sounds as well that are breaking through. However, it is primarily all about dancehall that we are talking about today. And on these lists, that's what makes it quite interesting, to be honest with you. But in regards to the artists, the most interesting information is definitely that, according to Spotify's data, it seems that Vybz Kartel is no longer the top artist in Jamaica listenership-wise. That crown is now held by ALKALINE, who moved into the #1 spot in terms of listenership. And ALKALINE obviously has been pushing a lot of music out there recently. Alongside this, we've also seen him put the album out last year. The last couple of months, to be honest with you, well, we've actually seen a ton of new singles landing. We've also seen a lot of rumours floating around about an album as well. But the stats in general are really interesting, especially when you look at Vybz Kartel not slowing down the pace of releases. When we actually break it down, Vybz Kartel's been releasing once every 2-3 weeks for the best part of the last 3 years. Like, he hasn't slowed down in any way, shape or form, and that's why I find this so interesting. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Do we think ALKALINE is in the rightful place? Is this where ALKALINE should be? Should he be holding the crown for the most listened to artist in Jamaica? Now, we're going to dive into the stats now about how this actually affects things on a more kind of global scale as well, and the rest of the list. So, interestingly enough, Popcorn isn't even in the top 5 anymore, which I find surprising, despite his huge international reach and obviously global respect as well. He's worked with some of the biggest artists on a global scale. One of my favourite tunes of his is alongside Kano, and that's a tune that always sticks with me, I've got to say. And then obviously he's worked with Drake. He's worked with some of the biggest artists in the world, if we're being real about Popcorn. So I find it quite surprising he's not in that top 5 listing. He's actually in 6th place, and he sits behind Intense, then Skillibeng, then Massacre, who's up to 3rd, Vybz in 2nd, and then ALKALINE at the top of the list. If you want to go down from 6 to 10, you then have Popcorn in 6th. Skeng has moved up to 7 after a seriously rapid amount of growth over the last sort of 18 months or so. It's been really interesting watching Skeng's growth over that time period. But then also alongside that, you see Dexter Daps moving up to 8th, Chronic Law up to 9th, and then Squash into 10th. I've got the stats and the data here as well around the top 10 tracks that have been played over that 12-month period, and it's very interesting indeed. In number 10, you've got I Wish from Massacre. 9th, Ocean Wave from ALKALINE. In 8th, then you've got Go Down There, obviously Spice featuring Shaggy and Sean Paul. A huge international tune, that one, getting played on radio stations around the world. That was always going to be quite high on this listing. You've then got Skillibeng with Crocodile Teeth. You've then got Skeng on here with Street Cred. He's on the list twice, actually. 10 Tick Roll Deep is in 5th. You've then got ALKALINE with Hostage in 4th. That's quite a high ranking tune. So 2 ALKALINE tunes on this listing so far. In 3rd, you've got Protocol, obviously Skeng and Tommy Lee Sparta. This was a huge tune that did absolute bits and really picked up a lot of steam. Yahoo Boys, Country Hype, and Intense is in 2nd. And then you've got Gunman Shift from Skeng actually sitting as the #1 track locally. So this is played in Jamaica by Jamaican artists. Really interesting stuff. Obviously, when we look at this on a kind of global global scale, Jamaica is one of the places on a global kind of network base that does really dictate sound. Like, it dictates where sound is going to go. It dictates the direction of sound a lot of the time. The more sort of electronic influence, something that's been very heavily influenced by Jamaican artists over the years. But now we're going to look a bit more sort of outside Jamaica and flip the script entirely when we actually look through these stats, with a much more sort of reggae and old school dancehall feel actually being quite apparent when we look at the most played Jamaican artists outside of Jamaica. In 10th, Chronix is in there. 9th, Charlie Black. 8th is Beanie Man still, which is really exciting to see. 7th is Damian Marley, obviously, who has a big kind of presence in and around the world of EDM and dance music. Like, he's obviously very popular in that realm. In 6th, you've got Vibes Cartel. 5th, you've got Omi. 4th, you've got Popcorn, so he's actually higher outside Jamaica than he is inside. Russian is all the way up in 3rd, which is really cool. Obviously, heavily kind of involved on the production side of things as well. 2nd, you've got Sean Paul. Again, he's a global act at this point. You know, he features on a lot of tunes, a lot of UK stuff, a lot of American stuff. He's an act that seems to pop up on a regular basis, but still in number 1 after all this time is Bob Marley and the Wailers, which is obviously very cool to see. There aren't too many surprises though when it actually comes to the female list on this one. I don't think it's too surprising. Shenseea remains clear at the top of the table. A move which is only likely to increase given her sort of foray into American sort of styles. And obviously, we saw her performance go up yesterday on Jimmy Kimmel for her brand new tune, which is absolutely corking. I love the way that tune sounds, and the live performance was great. She's getting introduced to a big sort of new global collection at the moment, obviously collaborating with Tyga, obviously collaborating with the likes of Megan Thee Stallion recently as well. She is on a global run. The actual listing for the top 8 female artists played in Jamaica is Moyan in 8th, Stork Ashley in 7th, Leela Ike in 6th, Alicia Spence is in 5th, Coffee is up to 4th, Spice in 3rd, Jada Kingdom in 2nd, and then clear at the top of this list is Shenseea. So those are your sort of male and female leading acts at the moment in and around Jamaican music, which I find really, really interesting, to be honest with you. These are the 2 that are leading the way. These are the 2 that are definitely at the top, and with an ALKALINE album on the way, I can't help but feel that this is going to be something we see actually increase. I know there are a ton of ALKALINE fans on this channel, so it's down to you guys. That's why he's doing so well, because you guys are streaming. The ALKALINE fan base is absolutely incredible as well. Whenever I post a video to do with ALKALINE, loads of different channels repost it, and they're so keen to kind of push the content out there and genuinely support the guy. It's really exciting to see, and that's why when you build up that sort of loyal very active fan base, I want to say, that's when you start to get these sort of global numbers, and it is really, really exciting to see. But there we go. ALKALINE and Shenseea sitting on the top of the tree for dancehall in Jamaica. Very exciting stuff. Well, not even that, just music in general within Jamaica, which is really exciting to see. But there we go, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this most recent edition of the CubCast. If you have, please make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. And, of course, let us know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below as well. Are these the 2 artists you would have thought that would have been at the top of the tree? Would you have thought maybe Coffee would have maybe overtaken Shenseea in regards to a sort of global approach? Obviously, she's got a big album on the way as well. Is ALKALINE realistically the artist you thought would be top of this list? Personally, I wasn't surprised when I saw this news, hence why I literally ran to YouTube to put this together and did a little bit of research into it as well. But do let me know in the comments down below. I'm keen to hear from each and every one of you. This channel's about discussion more than anything else, so please do get involved. However, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCamTV. Stay locked.